Hmm.
All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to the ASAP Afternoon Blitz, Thursday, March 2nd, 2023. I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by Jay McLovin. How's it going, Jay?
Man, it's going well, man. It is going well. As you saw, man, definitely a few things going on in the sports world that I'm sure we're going to dive into, man. But just want to remind everybody, man, check us out tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. Me, Gonzo, and Logan Landers will be chilling unscripted, man, talking our stuff. And Gonzo, I know you got a show at 6:30. I think you got an interview with the wrestler, don't you?
Yep. Yeah, pro wrestler Nick Diamond be joining us this evening at 6:30.
That's what's up. It's going to be a good night for sports talk. But what about this? What about this? Have you seen where? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead. I was just saying, yeah, it should be a good night.
Bro,
what was you going to say?
I see now where it looks like Jalen Carter has now gotten back to the combine after his arrest. I'm telling you, man, it's going to be interesting to see how all of this plays out. I know last night we were talking about what's it going to do to his draft stock and things of that nature. I can't imagine it's good for his draft stock, but I mean, somebody out there is going to get a damn good defensive tackle and probably at a really good position in the draft. If it does affect it. I mean, honestly, it's hard to – I think at this point right now, it's hard to speculate, you know? And I think, like you said earlier last night, it depends on if any other charges other than reckless driving and racing comes out against him. So far, he's out on bail. It's looking pretty good for him. The fact they gave him bail.
Yeah, because right now all you're seeing is them two charges, and in Georgia they're both misdemeanors. So if that's all he gets is two misdemeanor charges, I don't think it'll affect his draft stock a whole lot. Yeah, people will question his decision making a little bit, but other than that, I don't think it's going to affect his draft stock a whole lot like it would now if there were, like you were saying, if it would have been a manslaughter charge or something like that gets thrown in there, then that changes everything 100%. But it kind of sounds like, I hate to say it because a couple other people died in it, but it kind of sounds like he's gotten that he might be lucky that a bad decision that he made might not ruin the rest of his life.
Yeah, and again, man, right now he's out on $4,000 bail, and according to records, his arraignment hearing looks like it's set for April 18th. When exactly is the draft again, Gonzo? I think it's got to be it's got to be like the 23rd. So maybe I think he gets his arraignment before the draft ever even happens. So I think everything in his draft stock, everything is going to depend on that arraignment and what comes of the arraignment. You know, whether or not he was let go, has to do some probation for misdemeanor, or if they decide to charge him with, you know, being accessory or something in connection with the deaths of those two individuals. So, I mean, there's a lot to speculate, but I think ultimately the decision is going to come down after he goes to his arraignment on the 18th of April, and then I think that's when we're going to know more specifically if he drops or if he stays.
Draft is April 27th.
Yeah, so that's he's definitely got like 9 days between his arraignment and that draft, which is more than enough time for a decision to be made on his draft stock. But I don't think a decision on his draft stock is going to happen until after he goes to that arraignment.
Yeah, well, yeah, probably. Unless, like I said, these NFL teams are going to be trying to get as much information as they can out of the police. And
of course.
And you could have some kind of, if it's just going to be the misdemeanors, you could have some kind of plea agreement or some kind of something settled, maybe out of court before it goes that far as well. So, but yeah, it's going to be. I mean, it's going to depend big time on if he gets more charges or if the charges basically stay the same on what's going to happen with him with the draft wise.
Yeah,
we all know. We all know if all he's we all know if it's just going to end up being these misdemeanors or nothing else, that there's going to be that his draft stock isn't going to drop too much because he'll be available and teams are going to take him. Now it gets a little more serious and more charges, then that'll slow some of the teams down. But a misdemeanor charge, that's probably not going to get him much jail time, if any. That's not. We've seen it before. It's not going to slow these NFL teams down a whole lot.
Yeah, Anthony Price, he's definitely going to get drafted. There's no doubt that he gets drafted. I think it's just more of where he gets drafted at this point. But I will say this: he says he's fully confident that he will be cleared of any criminal wrongdoing. But let me ask you this: if you really believe that, and maybe this is an epiphany that he's had since his arrest. But if you really believe that at the time that it happened, why are you running? Why did you leave the scene of the crash? And why did you lie to cops?
I think that's just a 20-year-old.
That's what they say. That's what they say. But I'm just saying, if you truly have nothing to do with it other than reckless driving and speeding, those are misdemeanors. Everybody knows those are misdemeanors. Unless something more came out of that or was involved with that. I don't know. Again, these are just speculations. Again, when he goes to arraignment, we'll find out.
I think what could have happened, you got to think he's 19, 20 years old, young kid. He probably got scared and panicked. And then that's probably why he went back. He got scared, panicked, and realized, hey, I'm just going to make this worse by doing that. And that might have been why he ended up going back to the scene. I don't know. It's just
if he does have to go to trial, if they do decide to press stuff on him, when you lie to somebody and you flee the scene of an accident, whether you're scared or not, if you flee the scene of an accident, that's another issue. You never hit somebody or be involved in a crash and then leave the scene of the crash. So and that's something else they could charge him with. I'm not saying they're going to, but let's be honest. If you're leaving the scene of a crash, God, have you ever seen that work out well for somebody? Usually that gets you arrested right on the spot just for leaving the scene.
Yeah. Like I said, it's gonna be interesting. We just don't know enough information about everything. And we may never know. You never know what's going to come out, how much of it's going to come out.
Yeah. Hey, look, I don't care if you're scared or not, Anthony Price. If you are involved in something and people die from it, whether you're black, white, brown, scared, confident, whatever, you don't leave the scene of an accident. That's just plain and simple. I don't give a damn what they say. I cut no slack for somebody that leaves the scene of an accident. That tells me you're guilty and you did something more than what you think you did. No, Anthony, I have not. I have always paid for all of my food, or I wash dishes, whatever came first. Washed a few dishes in my life, let me tell you.
I don't think it was so much to do with being what color he is. I think it was more he's a young guy.
No. I was more saying that because Anthony Price said a famous black man, young and scared, and I'm like, bruh, come on.
Yeah, but what I think it was more. It's a 20-year-old. I don't care what color it is. I think 20-year-old. I think this is my opinion from the outside, not knowing all the details either. I think he panicked and panicked. He had the draft coming up and everything. Panicked. Oh, this is going. I think he panicked, left. I think he realized, hey, I'm just going to cause this worse. Did come back. It's just going to be interesting. To me, I don't think there's going to be any other charges because I think they would have, the police would have already filed the charges they were going to go after, like manslaughter or something like that.
And he may get off lucky. For me, it's just more of a character thing. I just have issues with his character. Yeah, I'm glad he came back. Good on him for doing the right thing at the end of the day. But still, he did leave the scene. So to me, it's still a character thing. It's
Oh no,
It's a
I'm not,
moral
don't get me
character
wrong.
issue for me. You
I
know,
agree. He made a mistake by leaving the scene. I'm just saying that. I mean, sometimes when you're young and dumb, you do stupid things.
hey, listen, I've been young and I've been dumb and I've done a hell of a lot of stupid shit. Trust me. Trust me. You don't get this old, look this way, and not have done some stuff. Just saying. Just saying, man. But you know what? I don't run.
3 of 2 last 5. Maybe he saw a quarterback. He's going for a sack. No.
Hey, listen. Hey, I'm just saying, man. You know, if all you're doing is racing, it's a misdemeanor, man. It's not like you got drugs in your car. It's not like you got other kinds of craziness going on. If an accident occurred because you were negligent drinking.
And another thing is how many 19, 20-year-old kids know what the law is and know if it's a misdemeanor or a felony or that, you know what I mean? I don't know how many 19, 20-year-old kids really keep track of that stuff as we do a little bit more when we get older. Especially this day and age of young Americans. If it's not on, I don't know. They might know. As long as if it talked about it on a video game, they probably know. But if it wasn't on a video game,
I mean, if he knew misdemeanor or not misdemeanor, I mean, that's really neither here nor there. I mean, my thing is just at the end of the day, you know what right and wrong is. He knew what right and wrong is. Because if he didn't know what right and wrong was, he wouldn't have came back. No. What I'm saying is the misdemeanor part. No, I agree with you. Maybe he does know, didn't know. I mean, who knows? I don't know what his background is, but I do know this: the man ran from a damn crime, or I should say, he ran from an accident, which was criminal in its intent because of the racing and the things like that. And then you run from it, and you know right from wrong. And he came back, and because he came back, that tells me that he knew right from wrong, and he knew that what he was doing was wrong. So I don't know, man. I mean, for me, it's I always say for every cockroach you find, there's about 1 million cockroaches you didn't. So all we can do is wait to the 18th, and then we'll see what happens. But to Gonzo's point, which does make sense, if he hasn't been fouled yet, more than likely, in this case, he probably won't get fouled. And if that's the case and he gets a couple of misdemeanors, well, then I hope he takes this lesson and I hope he learns from it, because he got off this one. You may not get off another one. Could be Henry Ruggs out
next time. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's one thing. Everybody makes mistakes and things happen, but you also got to learn from them. You can't keep making the same mistakes over and over. And hopefully this will be a wake up call for him. Like,
and I'll be honest with you. I think Carter belongs in jail. I'll be honest with you. Regardless of whether or not they tag him with, those 2 deaths. If you're going over 100 miles an hour and you're in the opposite flow of traffic, damn good and well right from wrong. And that makes you a criminal in my book. That rate of speed, opposite flow of traffic, on purpose, fuck that. Throw that motherfucker in jail. Pardon my French.
Let me ask you this. What if you were going that rate of speed, but nothing happens? There is no accident, so you don't get in trouble.
Throw that motherfucker. I don't care. There are things that you do, Gonzo, that there's consequences, and that you know what I'm saying. Look, I got to go to a funeral. Check this out. I got to go to a funeral, and on Friday, I got to go to a funeral Friday evening for a young lady that was a bartender. She's 23 years old. She was going down the street at a normal pace of traffic. A Jeep going at a high rate of speed crosses over the double yellow lines, hits her head on. All of them are dead. Now, nobody walked away from it. I'm just saying, you pray that nobody's there when they're doing stupid stuff like that. But if I was a cop and I saw you going on the wrong road or the wrong, against the flow of traffic, even if there's nobody there at a high rate of speed, your ass is going to jail, and I'm going to charge you with everything I can.
Oh no, I agree with you. What I'm saying is, there's a lot that happens a lot where people don't get caught, don't get pulled over.
Oh, absolutely. No, I know it happens. I know it happens.
And the reason I'm saying that, I brought up that or asked you that question is because, see, I was probably, I was 17, 18 years old. Left for a wrestling meet one morning. It was about an hour and 20-minute drive from home. I got about halfway there and I realized I left my fucking wrestling bag at home. Had all my equipment, everything in it. So I turn around, come home. Weigh-ins ended at a certain time. So, dude, I grab my bag. I'm flying as fast as my little Ford Ranger truck will go. Back, try to get to weigh-ins. I get pulled over. Got pulled over. I was going 100 miles an hour in a 55. I wasn't going the wrong way in traffic. I was going the right way in traffic. It was stupid. It shouldn't have been going. There ain't no reason to be going that fast. Officer pulls me over. He said, "Hey, son, why you in such a?" He goes, "You know how fast you're going?" I said, "I was honest. I really know. I know I was speeding. I don't know exactly how fast I was going. So I had that little truck buried as far as it was going." And,
yeah.
He said, "Why are you in such a hurry?" And I told him what was going on. I was like, and I'm at this point, dude, I'm like a mile and a half. I'm like a mile and a half from where I was going. I was almost there. I'm thinking, now I'm definitely not going to make it before weigh-ins in.
Right.
He wrote me a ticket. He wrote me a ticket as I was going 73. That way he didn't have to arrest me and take me. Oh, hey, this was during the day, Anthony. This was in the morning. This was like at 9 o'clock in the morning, or actually about 8 o'clock in the morning, because I think weigh-ins ended at 8 or 9. I think weigh-ins ended at 9, so it was about 8:39. But he wrote me a ticket going like 73 miles an hour because he didn't want to take me to jail for reckless driving and all that. So he gave me a break on that, and then he sent me, let me go. Told me be careful. He said, "Slow down, be careful." I get there to the damn wrestling thing. They had so many people show up that they had extended weigh-ins by an hour. So I would have been fine. But of course, back at this time, not everybody, we didn't have all the cell phones where we could call each other and let people know information like that. But it was a stupid decision on my part that I got lucky that I didn't injure nobody or, other things didn't happen out of it. But it was just, hey, it was a young guy trying to get to where he was going and made a decision that wasn't smart. Got lucky, didn't hurt nobody, and then also got lucky that the guy the officer that pulled me over wasn't a dick about it, because he could have easily took me to jail, towed my vehicle, all that stuff. And he didn't do that. Now it did cost me $200, $300 something and paying for my ticket and stuff. But that's a lot better than what it could have.
$300? Man, let me tell you something.
I think the fine was like $3.
When I was 16,
remember this was back. This was
hey, look. Hey, watch this. Hey, listen, we all about that. Watch this, guys. I'm gonna hit you right between the four. Are you ready for this? Jay, when he got his first car ever at 16, this would have been about 1987, 1988. And I had a 1970 Mach 1 beautiful fastback Mustang. Beautiful car. And I remember I wasn't even racing nobody. I didn't even really realize how fast I was going. I was just enjoying the ride. Well, yeah, I was enjoying the ride all right. A cop pulled me over, said, "Boy, do you know how fast you were going?" I said, "I don't know, but it felt nice." He goes, "Man, you were going 102 in a 35. I'm like, "Shit. I thought I was going 105. Am I going to jail?" He goes, "I don't know, I don't know yet. I got to call it in and find out because I don't think he knew. So he came back and said, look, man, I'm going to give you a ticket. I ain't dropping shit. It's 102 and a 35. You got to go before the judge in 4 weeks. Here's your ticket. Man, you know what's crazy? My mom knew the judge because it's a small area, so everybody kind of knows everybody. Yeah. So my mom knew the judge. My mom even knew the cop, and I think the cop knew me. He just didn't want to let me know that he knew my mom, you know. So I go before the judge, Judge Parrott. Never forget it. Went before Judge Parrott, and Judge Parrott said, "Boy, you're going 102 in a 35. What do you think I ought to do about that?" I said, "I don't know. I got about $45 to my name. What can we work out?" He said, "Let me tell you what's going to happen. First, you're going to write a $300 check that's going to go to the Sunshine Kids. Okay. Second, you're going to pay this $700 fine on this ticket. That's already $1,000. Oh, Jesus. What am I going to do about that? And then you're going to do 2 weeks cleaning up the side of the road all the way down Federal Road that you were speeding on in an orange jumpsuit with the other guys." And for 2 weeks, I had to pick up trash on the side of the road in an orange jumpsuit, and all my friends are honking and laughing at me as they pass up and down the road. And I'm like, this motherfucker. And I got to pay $1,000. This motherfucker.
I got lucky because since he wrote it down as 3, he didn't have to get me for reckless driving, so he just was able to go off the scale of what my ticket would be. I didn't have to go see. As long as I paid that ticket by the date, I didn't have to go see a judge or none of that stuff.
No, I went before that over there. And hey, listen, man, I got the full wrath. I got the full money. And then he goes, "Yeah, I know your mama too. So I know exactly where you live. And I'm going to make sure the next time you come out there, every day, you're going to be on point." Man, yeah, I never spent it, man. That was the only time I ever spent. I was straight as an arrow after that, man.
Now I don't speed. If I'm 5 miles over the speed limit, that's about as fast you're ever going to see me going most of the time.
Oh man, well now these insurances, they got these apps that track how you drive. And if you drive a certain kind of way, you can get these discounts. Yeah. If you don't, well, then you just pay the whatever. Man, my wife looked at me and she said, "Jason, if you so much as screw this app up, there's going to be issues to pay." So Jason really doesn't drive very far. I do like 2 or 3 mile runs, and then the rest of it, I try to walk with Blue just to avoid the wrath of my wife and the insurance company.
But yeah, dude, I had a little 88 Ford Ranger. I had a little 4-cylinder in that thing, dude. And I had that thing buried. That thing was scooting down the highway as fast as it would go.
I asked my wife if I could go buy a Whipple supercharger and some aftermarket exhaust to put it on the Mustang. You know what she told me? "You need a supercharger to go 45 miles an hour?" Well, no. Then what the hell are we talking about? You need a supercharger to go past 70 on the highway? No. Then what the hell are we talking about? Supercharger. You can supercharge this. And she pointed at something I don't want to talk about. That was the last time I ever asked her if I could soup up my car. So now I just drive 45, and it's funny too because people will be passing me by, they'll be laughing at me, and I'd be like, "Nope, no sir, app is tracking me. I ain't getting in trouble. Fuck y'all."
I know how it is in Georgia. I know here you get on a couple of highways, the speed limit might be 55 on that highway, but if you ain't going at least 65, 70, you're going to get ran the fuck over.
Oh, it happens. Man, hey, listen. And the ones that are the worst, motorcycle drivers.
Oh, God.
These dudes get on the road like they're evil freaking Knievel, thinking they can weave in and out of traffic and they're not going to die.
And I hate when anything happens to one of them, but then if they do get in an accident, then it's everybody else's fault. And it's like, well, yeah, I understand drivers can pay attention a little more for motorcycles, but also like a lot of it is what you're just saying right there. You get these guys on these motorcycles that want to weave in and out of traffic, and hell, they think they're Superman on them bikes sometimes, and that can end up to be a lot of the problem as well.
Yeah, and then if you get tied up in a wreck with one of them, that's even scarier. I don't even like. That's why I.
I've always wanted to bike. But there's that's one reason I don't have one. I know myself. I get that bike. There's going to be at least a handful of times that I'm going to be on that bike, and I'm going to want to see how fast I can go.
No doubt.
It's just I know that, and that scares me. So I think it's a good thing that I know that, because that scares me enough that I don't need one of those.
Well, I don't know how it is where you live, but over here, man, they got all these traffic cameras, all over the place that monitor your speed, and if you're speeding, it'll generate a ticket. Like if you go to the red light camera, now got these red light cameras. Well, now they got one for speed. So they got red light camera, and then they got speed cameras. And yeah, man.
Yeah.
Speed if you want to.
Send you a ticket in the mail.
Man, yeah. So it looks like the Bucks are gonna release Berate, that tight end. Looks like a couple of tight end, and then it looks like the Jags are franchise tagging their tight end. So I think tight ends are good. I think that's going to be a premium commodity come free agency when people are losing these tight ends. I think Dallas is going to wind up losing Schultz. I think Schultz is going to wind up going over to the Chargers and signing on, with Kellen Moore over there, because I think they're going to wind up using that franchise tag on Pollard, and they're not going to want to pay. They're not going to pay $13-14 million for Schultz. Jerry Jones has typically never paid his tight ends worth a damn. So I fully expect to lose Schultz, and which is a big part of their offense. I mean, I don't understand why why you're not going to pay that guy, but that's a big part of your offense, and that's one of the big things you struggled with in the playoffs. But you're going to lose a key part of it.
And there's a tight end. There's not like there's a high amount of premium tight ends out there either. I mean,
that's exactly right. There's not. So like when you got a good tight end. That's the last position you really want to lose. You can lose an Ezekiel Elliott.
If I'm the Cowboys, I would franchise tag Schultz before I would Elliott or Pollard.
Yeah, absolutely.
If Pollard wasn't on his injury, then I might think a little bit different about it. But definitely with the way Pollard's injury is right now and everything. I think if I'm going to,
I agree with you. If I'm them, I'm going to franchise Schultz, or I'm going to tag Schultz. I'll make a qualifying offer to Pollard, but if he takes it, great, and if he doesn't, then he can go test the market on that jacked up foot of his or leg of his coming off. So, and again, the market for running backs isn't as big as what people think it is nowadays. I think now it's like around $10 million a year. Is at the high premium. Normally, these guys are getting around $6, $7, $8 million a year. It used to be it was a hell of a lot more, but now running backs are a dime a dozen, and people don't put the value on them anymore. So you don't have to. I don't know why they're franchising somebody they really don't have to franchise when they could franchise the guy they really need to franchise.
Yeah,
and that's another thing too. Anthony Price brings up he's got a couple of good points. Number one, he asked me about Mike McCarthy. And I forgot what exactly he was asking about Mike McCarthy. You may want to put that back in there. I know he was asking something about Mike, but
it's up there. It's up there, brother.
Is it up there? I don't see it.
No, it should be on the screen. It said, Jay, how you feel about Mike McCarthy?
Oh, damn, I was in the wrong spot. God, that's how old I am. I'm like, Jay, you look left. Jay, you're looking right. No, you're other right. He said, how you feel about McCarthy call? You know what? I'm okay with it as long as he can back up calling Kellen Moore out. In other words, I know he's calling Kellen Moore out saying like, hey, I'm going to run the ball more, this, that, and the other. But I'm going to tell you, McCarthy, you better do better than what you've been doing, because if you don't, then you're basically calling out when you call out Kellen Moore, you might as well be calling out your damn self. So all I'm saying is Mike McCarthy, great calling out Kellen Moore. It's great that you see that, but you better back it up. You better back it up, and this team better freaking produce, or you're going to be in the same boat as Kellen Moore. So I hope you can back up what you're talking. That's how I feel about Mike McCarthy calling out Kellen Moore. Just back it up, man. Back it up with excellent coaching and excellent production on the field, and you can ride that. And then he goes on to say, "No, go ahead.
I really didn't like it because he to me he didn't take no responsibility for the last 3 seasons or whatever it was. Well, basically made it sound like
I agree.
It was now there should be a little more continuity and more. He just made it sound like it was Kellen Moore that was holding them back. Where you're the head coach of that team. You kept him on your staff, whether you let Jerry persuade you to keep him on your staff, or if that was one of the conditions of you getting the job, and you decided to take that condition because you wanted that job. But he was on your coaching staff. You're the head coach. You're the leader of that coaching staff.
Right.
So whether you inherited him as a coach or chose him, either way, that's your responsibility. Either you figure out how to make it work, or you should have went to Jerry Jones and said, "Hey, this guy's a damn idiot. I need him out of here." But you don't wait till after the 3rd season and things didn't go as you wanted in the playoffs. And then now a new voice is probably going to help Dak. Now there should be a little more continuity on the play calling and this and that. Well, if there wasn't enough continuity, yeah, okay, you can blame that on Kellen Moore to an extent, but it all goes back to the head coach. You're the head guy in charge. You're the one that makes the final decision on everything. And so if there was something that you didn't like, you shouldn't have signed off on it. You should have been saying, "No, we need to do this." Or, if you're the head coach, you got a damn headset on. You don't like the plays, call it overrule that motherfucker.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
If you don't want to,
that's why I
really
don't
want to overrule them. You know what I mean? If you don't want to overrule them, that's fine. But don't come out after you guys decide to get rid of them, and then try to blame it all, and then throw him under the bus and basically blame him for it, because you can blame Kellen Moore some, but Mike McCarthy, you still get some of that blame because you were the guy in charge.
Yeah, and that's that's kind of where I'm coming from. Is like, there is a certain level of accountability on McCarthy, and I think it's going to happen. The accountability piece for McCarthy is going to happen this year when he puts himself squarely out there on the island. He's taking the charge. He's saying, "Okay, it's my way. I'm doing it my way." And then if he can't produce on his way, well, now we have a problem, because you didn't produce when Kellen Moore was here. You didn't produce on your own. So maybe, Mike, we kind of gave you all the chances we could give you, but now it's time to cut sling load and move on to the next guy. You're just not getting it done. I think his year of accountability should be this year.
But Jay, you know what's going to happen. They're going to make it to they'll make it to the NFC Championship game, or maybe even the Super Bowl, get beat, and then you'll be stuck with McCarthy and Dak for another 10 years.
What's your point?
That's what's going to happen.
I know. What's your point?
They'll have that fluke year this year to get up there just enough to keep McCarthy. Then you're going to be stuck with McCarthy for another 10 years.
So what are you trying to say?
That could screw you in the Cowboys.
Hey, all I'm saying when I say that is, that's Captain Obvious shit. Everybody knows that. So I'm like, what are you trying to say? We already know this. We've been living it for 30 freaking years. What are we talking about? What are we saying? 30 years, Gonzo. 30 years we've been listening to the same shit. Like it's going to change all of a sudden. It's the same shit. I just don't know who the next puppet's going to be after McCarthy's let go. Who's going to be the next puppet coach? Yeah, I would too. Put me in, coach. Make sure I get, here's my routing number. Here's my bank number. Just make sure every month you put that money in there, okay? Now, to your point, somebody's going to take it, right? Somebody's going to take that job.
AP says,
I don't know if I'd want to.
AP says if Zeke gets cut, That's bad. That's Dak's safety blocker.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but you know what? Last time I checked, Leonard Fournette's out there, and he can block just as good. I'll cut Gallup. You know, the thing about that is, I understand where you're coming from on that, Anthony, but at the same time, coming off an ACL injury, it's hard to cut somebody that the year after. You got to give him at least 2 years to really fully come back off that ACL before you can make a judgment. So I got to give Gallup another year before I can say it's time to cut him. I just think that's doing him wrong or doing him dirty, you know, if you don't give him an opportunity to really come back off that injury. Urban Myers will be Dallas next. Jesus Christ. Shut your mouth, Frankie. Shut your mouth. God. You know what? I can see that happening, honestly. I could see that doesn't shock me, or that wouldn't surprise me if that was the case. I think Quinn likes being there. He had the opportunity to go interview for head coaching spots. He passed it up saying, "No, I'm good with Dallas. I want to finish what I started." So,
well, just don't get no 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl. You should be all right.
That's all I'm saying. But you know what? There's a few quarterbacks that can come back from that type of thing. Brady was one of them. I think Patrick Mahomes is another. I think Burrow is working his way into that as well. Watch your language, Chris. Don't maybe come in there and put you in timeout. You said LeBron to be evaluated in 3 weeks now instead of 2. Yeah, let me tell you something. You won't see Bron back unless you make the playoffs. I've already said it, and I'm going to say it again. You'll see LeBron back if you make the playoffs. If you don't make the playoffs, he's just going to ride out till next year. What's the point?
So you're saying won't see LeBron again until next year? Is what you're saying?
Pretty much. I would not be. Hey, if he comes back, he comes back. But in my mind, if they're saying 3 weeks, well, hell, man, we don't have that much left in the season. And what's the point of coming back if you don't have a legit shot at making the play-in? He said Quinn will get you to the Super Bowl, give you a 25-point lead just to blow it. Hey, you know what? Hey, you play better without LeBron. Yeah.
Hey, they did get bad. They did win yesterday without LeBron and AD and D'Angelo Russell, but that's one game.
Oh, and by the way, Frankie, get used to losing because I don't see them Patriots doing anything anytime in the near future. Put money on that, please. Gonzo, I don't know what your sports line bet it is on that, but you can go ahead and put some money on that one. Take that to the bank.
Dude, the Reds scored 10 runs yesterday in the 8th inning.
Jesus.
And then come out in the 9th inning and give up 4 runs and lose the game.
Oh, damn. That's rough. That is rough. That's playing with your emotions. I hate when that shit happens.
How do you have a 10-run inning and then you turn around and just go?
Hey, because you get that one guy that comes in, they think they got the game won, and he just blows the lead. It happens. I'm telling you, it can happen. You put the wrong pitcher who's not ready to go, and all of a sudden, hey, you get people on, and then you get people momentum. Doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen. What's up with Lamar? The Ravens say Lamar is the future. Why he not – Anthony, who taught you how to write, sir? Why he not signed yet? Just give me the blank check. Yeah, man. Hey, what's up, Lamar?
I think the Ravens want Lamar. I just don't think the Ravens want to reset the quarterback market to get Lamar. I don't with some of the injuries he's had. I don't think they're comfortable giving him all that guaranteed. And I think that's where the problem's at. They're trying to come up to an agreement that works for both of them, and they've been a lot lower than what Lamar has been, and it'll be interesting to see if they can find that happy medium where that'll work for both sides.
Yeah, I agree. But I again, if the Ravens, if they want to keep Lamar, Lamar wants that fully guaranteed. He flat out said it. I'm only here for the fully guaranteed. And I don't know if the Ravens are willing to give him that. Hell, now you got the Haslam brothers over there in Cleveland talking about restructuring Watson's contract. What a time to be alive, man. I think Lamar, I don't think there's a clear-cut way to see his if he stays with Baltimore or not, because I don't think Baltimore is going to give him the fully, and he wants the full. So I would not be surprised if he either A, gets tagged. Well, I think he probably already is tagged, and then traded. I don't know. Can they trade him at this point? No, you can't trade on the tag. So
they haven't tagged him yet.
I would not want that situation for all the teams. I would not want to give him the fully guaranteed contract.
I think they have till March. I want to say March 7th. So they have about 5 more days before to make a decision on whether they're going to tag him or not. And then if they do tag him, they have to like July to get a deal worked out. Or then they can't, or then they can't work on a deal to the end of the season. So I mean, if they do franchise tag him, they have till they still have a couple months to try to get a deal done before the season starts. I'm not sure on the trade. I think maybe you can, if you franchise tag him, you're still eligible. You can trade, but it has to be before. I think it's before that. Might be before that July deadline, where you can't talk contract no more. I'm not 100% on that, but I know they have till July, and then after that, you can't talk contracts till next season. And then it depends on which way they decide to. Depends on which way they decide to franchise tag him as well. If you go exclusive, then you own the rights; nobody else can talk to him. But if you do non-exclusive, other teams can make him offers, and then you have the opportunity of matching that offer, and you could lose him for the offer, and you get a couple compensatory picks as well. I think it might be a couple.
I think what Frankie's saying here is probably more likely. I think what you're saying as well. Whereas I think if he's on the tag, you can't trade him. I remember seeing that. But if you take the tag off him before the season starts, then you could trade him. So I think that's how that would have to work. But,
you have to like July 15th
which I think is what you're saying. When you talk about that date, I think that's kind of an alignment.
You have July 15th to make either get a contract made or decide that you're sticking with the franchise tag.
Exactly, and I think that's how that would play out. Oh, by the way, Frankie goes on to say Patriots will be better than Dallas. I know that really because last time I checked, you were in 3rd place and not even in the playoffs. Do better. On the bright side, Chris, is spring training, they have the same record as the Astros. Oh, man, I love it when we talk. There's nothing that does my heart better than when we talk spring training. I just love spring training. Then he says not a lot of teams tagging players. Are they waiting until the last minute? I think you're right. There has not really been a whole lot of tags go down this year. There's only been a few. I'm really surprised, quite honestly, Chris, that the Eagles haven't put any franchise tags down or made it official on who they're going to, given their defensive situation and all the free agents they have to get under contract. I really thought we would see one by now from them.
And you also have some teams that never hardly franchise tag anybody. I mean, I think if you look at the Buffalo Bills, if I remember correctly, that they don't franchise tag anybody very often at all. It's been a while since they've done it. And there's some other teams too. So that's one. I think that's one reason. I think another reason is I think a lot of them they would rather get deals worked out, so they're waiting to the last minute. I think you'll see a few more get franchised here next few days. But a lot of teams don't. There's a lot of teams that don't like using that franchise tag if they don't have to, because you don't have to use it. You're allowed to use one a season or whatever, but you don't have to.
We might be third place. Yeah, you still can't make a Super Bowl, let alone a conference championship game. Do better now. You're right. You're right. We've been competitive every year, but we just haven't got quite over that hump. You know what? And you're going to know that feeling too. Now that you don't have Tom Brady, once you get used to that feeling of third place, it's going to suit you for a very long period of time. So it's okay. We'll check back in 10 years when you're like contemplating the meaning of your life. Oh, what a time to be alive. Jesus.
Contemplating the meaning of your life. You're not going to be happy if New England comes out and has a good year this year.
Hey, listen, if they do, and they could, I mean, look, they finally did the right thing and brought in Bill O'Brien, an actual offensive coordinator who actually does have some ties with Mac Jones to get him back on the damn the right train to be on. So to say that the Patriots can't, I won't say that, but don't think you're just going to come out and be better than Dallas or the fact that you're even going to be in a Super Bowl. That's a lot of what ifs. So let's not get on that gravy train just yet. Frankie, just sit there enjoying sucking for a while, and then we'll revisit in 10 years, and then we'll see where you are.
Did New England and Dallas play each other last season?
Oh, God, we have played New England before. I don't think we played them last year, though. I think we played them the year before last. No, that's right, Frankie. You didn't say you were going to the Super Bowl. I just want you to understand that you're not going to the Super Bowl for a hot minute. So just sit back and enjoy the suckability that we call New England.
I knew you guys had played recently, and it was real close. It was a close game, but I couldn't remember.
No, we won the game, but it wasn't. I don't think it wasn't last season. It was the season before last that we played.
2021 and lost in overtime, is what Frankie said.
Yeah,
first time Dallas beat New England since 1996.
Man, and we beat you. So what are we talking about?
Oh yeah, that's right. Because they couldn't beat Tom Brady. They finally got a win over Tom Brady.
Hey, not a lot. Hey, let's be honest. The guy's got 7 rings. Not a lot of people could beat Tom Brady. I mean, just be honest. I mean, you don't have 7 damn rings if you're getting your ass whooped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I think that if I remember right, when Dallas won the last teams to beat Brady, I think like every other team had to win against him, but you guys.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I don't know what you're saying, Chris. I mean, what just come on? I feel like you're trying. I feel like you're pulling a Randy Jowers, but in a subtle way.
How you gonna compare me? No.
No. I said, but in a subtle way.
No, I wouldn't take no shot. I was just saying that I remembered that.
And I swear to God, I'll call Tony right now at Walmart, and I'll have him come home and give you a belt.
Hey, he's home, but anyway.
Is he? Tony, get in there.
Anyway.
I
I wasn't taking a shot. What I was saying is that
has your daddy ever given you a belt before? Has your daddy ever
won the last games? Yeah, but anyway.
Well, because my dad gave me a belt too. It was double prong. Man, I still got nightmares and PTSD from that damn thing. You know what's bad is when your dad makes you go pick out the belt. Hey boy, go grab me one of them belts in there. Oh, you want me to grab my instrument of death?
No,
I'll get on that real quick.
It was worse when Grandma told you to go pick out a switch.
Oh, I've had to do that too. She made me climb the damn tree. Listen, I'm climbing a tree for the instrument of death. Really?
But
that's what you want me to do. Well, and then she goes this.
I was just saying
Jason. Hey, watch this. She goes, Jason, well, if you don't want to climb the tree, that's fine. I'll just tell your daddy you said the word bitch. Oh, no. No, don't tell daddy. No, don't, because then I'll have to pick up. No. Which branch you want? Because my granny was like 90 pounds. Small little woman. Indian, feather, Indian, Cherokee. And I went up and I climbed the tree and I brought a branch down. And she said, oh, no, Jay. It's too big in diameter. You see the one up there, the real small, skinny one? Yeah, you bring me that one. Not a good day for Jay. I will tell you, there was a little blood that came off the butt that day. I never knew a 90-year-old woman could do a fly swatter so fast. Jesus.
Eli did, and so did Nick Foles.
He said, what did he say? Oh, so yeah, Miami's going to give Tua a deal. Oh, hey, Jay, at least your last team Brady lost to ever wouldn't have happened if he stood way for long. But hey, it is what it is, you know. Oh, did you hear Miami is still going to? Yeah, I'm not. I don't. I give Tua 2 year. I got to make sure Tua can medically clear himself, or at least be on the damn, grass for a whole season first before I give him a long term deal. So I don't know why. I hope they're not giving him a long term. If they give him a long term, that's just that to me. That's just dumb. I'd give him a 2 year.
I'm going to this judo class and watching them fall.
Oh, geez. Is he in a judo class? Is that what he? Yeah, he said he's taking judo, didn't he?
Yep. Yeah, he's taking judo to try to help learn about protecting himself from falling. Which I said that from the beginning when I saw him get yanked down a couple of times. Like, dude, you got to protect yourself. You can't just be getting flopped straight back and not tuck your head or nothing. You're gonna get a lot of them. You're gonna get concussed all the time if you.
Man. Even Frankie said, "How long do you think we give it before Tua gets hurt next year?" I give him half the damn season. I think he gets hurt in week 6 or 7. I wouldn't be surprised one bit. I would not be surprised one bit. Week 6 or 7, he, like Gonzo said, he went to judo, but maybe he forgot it and goes down the wrong way again. And that's what. Man, I'm not speaking bad on the Hawaiians. They make a really good roll. Has you ever had the Hawaiian sweet rolls? They're beautiful, man. I'm not talking bad about Hawaiians. They're good. They're good, honest people.
He said they can't play football anymore.
Hey, listen, you want to go against the bloodline? You go talk smack to them Samoans. I ain't talking smack to a Samoan. You ever seen how big of a Samoan is?
Yeah.
Even the small, skinny midget Samoans scare the crap out of me.
I met Rikishi in person. He's not small at all.
Yeah, I ain't messing with no Rikishi. I'm not messing with anybody, but I'm definitely not messing with no guy named Rikishi.
The Red Sox are beating the Phillies 11-3 right now in spring training. 7th inning.
Yeah, it's spring training. I can't put no weight into spring training. It says Ravens Bateman, Rashad Bateman calls out general manager for wide receiver comments. I didn't see any comments from the GM. Did you see any comments about the Ravens from the Ravens GM on Rashad Bateman?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't seen those. He must have. He probably talked about how. He probably was talking about how their wide receiver core was trash, and Bateman took exception to it. But I don't know why he's taking exception. He couldn't stay on the fucking field.
He said, in a since deleted tweet Thursday morning, Baltimore Ravens wide receiver Rashad Bateman called out general manager Eric DeCosta for his comments about the team's disappointing track record for drafting pass catchers. Wow. Okay. So he's basically saying that Rashad Bateman is trash and that Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown, as you may know him, was trash. That's the message I'm basically hearing from General Manager DeCosta.
I pretty much agree.
I mean, they haven't drafted well. They certainly haven't brought any good free agents in. I mean, at least not at the wide receiver level, they haven't brought any good wide receivers in. So,
and what's wrong with him saying that? I mean, look how many times
he's right. He's right.
Look how many times we've, well, not just us, but look how many times you've heard on different shows and stuff about how the Patriots don't draft wide receivers well. And you're talking about best coach in football, because he was the GM there as well for a long time. So that's one position he's had trouble finding players that have came in and worked out, has been at the receiver position. So
Though, it sounds like though Baltimore might be going through the same issue that Dallas went through. In other words, we moved on from Kellen Moore and his and the way he did things to now we got Brian Schottenheimer, and now the Ravens are kind of doing the same thing. They're getting rid of Greg Roman, who's been there for a hot minute, and we all know Greg Roman is a run-centric kind of guy, which is why Lamar Jackson fits so well there because he's a run type of quarterback. So now you bring in this guy Monken, the offensive coordinator from University of Georgia, to take over. How is Monken going to translate with a run-first quarterback that doesn't throw the ball first? Because he only threw 592 attempts last season. Baltimore attempted the fewest passes to wide receivers, 592. So
2 wide receivers. He threw the ball more than that. He threw the ball to this tight end a lot.
No, I understand that. I'm just saying though, but under Greg Roman's style, and again, there's a reason why. Number one, they probably haven't drafted the best pass catcher because that's not Greg Roman. That's not his philosophy. He's a run-first kind of guy. So that's probably that's just one of the reasons. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why. Obviously, the lack of passing to the wide receivers. Well, if you don't pass to the wide receivers, how are they going to get their yards? How are they going to make anything? So I think there's a lot of different dynamics as to why Baltimore is the way Baltimore is. And it started really with Greg Roman, and it funneled down through Lamar Jackson into that team. You know what I mean?
No way.
But I mean, there's only one way to find out, right? Monken's coming in. Monken is a passing guy. So now it's going to be interesting to see where Baltimore transitions from here.
No,
and if they do require him to throw more, how is that going to affect Lamar Jackson?
I like to hire a Monken offensive coordinator. I think it's going to help their offense, in my opinion.
Well, I agree. I thought that was a great move on their part.
But they're going to first. They got to figure out what they're going to do with Lamar. They got if you're going to keep Lamar, get him signed, and then you got to bring in some weapons around him. I mean, your best pass catcher can't be Mark Andrews. And not against Mark Andrews, he's a hell of a tight end. But you gotta have something to go with him, or you're not going to have a whole lot.
Well, right. Like that's like you look at Kansas City. That's the next closest thing to what they have in Baltimore with the Kelsey Mahomes connection. But like you said, Smith-Schuster, Scantling, Tony. They really got their other number. I call them number. I had Kelsey as number one. Everybody else is pretty much number two on that team. But all the number twos were involved.
Yeah.
So. Wow. No.
It's cheating in baseball.
No, I do not think at all that the shift is cheating in baseball because, again, how do you beat the shift? Learn how to hit the other direction. You know what I'm saying? How's it cheating baseball? How is playing defense cheating baseball? It's not cheating baseball.
No, I don't think it was because I mean it was within the rules to do it. Like I said, it didn't bother me. It's not a big deal to me that they took it out. And then it's not a bit. Oh no, it wasn't a real big deal. It's a big deal if they left. To me, if you want, I mean, yeah, I think it's going to help more base hits and stuff like that. But I'm also under the thinking is, hey, if you want more base hits, hit the ball to where they're not. I understand it's a lot easier said than done. It's a lot easier to say, hey, if they're all of them are standing in right field, don't hit the ball to fucking right field. But I also know the ball's coming at you at 100 miles an hour, and you're trying to center this little ball up that has all this spin on it and everything. So I know it's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but I mean, there's still the opportunity there to do it. If there wasn't an opportunity to hit the ball the other way and it was just like you had to hit into the shift, okay, then I can understand you just be saying, well, we need to take the shift away because that's the only place they can hit the ball. But that's not the case. You got a whole field that you can spray the ball over. You just got to get better as players get better at doing that. And kind of like what Dustin said last night, he goes, everybody's players complained about the shift, and about trying to hit the ball the other way. And he said they take away the shift, and you're seeing more opposite field hits.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that too.
Our full side hits. So,
and I think a lot of that is timing. You're messing with people's timing, which is causing them, like I think, to swing it maybe a little bit earlier or a little bit late, whatever, and they're pulling it the other way now. You mess with a guy's timing or mechanics, and different things are going to happen. But yeah, I thought that was kind of funny when he said that they took away the shift, and here now these dudes are starting to pull the other direction.
Yeah, I did hear about this, Frankie.
Yeah,
the umpires left the game, and they kept playing without umps.
Oh yeah, hey, umpires were like, "Hey, we're done. It's top of the ninth. Hey, there's no sense playing the bottom of the ninth because the dude struck out. So what are we talking about?" But yeah, they can leave. They can keep on playing.
Only in spring training. Only in spring training.
And it's good for them to keep playing. I mean, it's good for them to get the at bats in against other players. So, and again, a lot of those guys they're just minor leaguers up there anyway. So you're not really getting the ones that are already on the club.
Yeah. I mean, especially starting now because you got the World Baseball Classic starting in like 3 days. So you're going to be seeing a lot, even more of the younger guys getting to play because of a lot of your experienced guys are going to be gone playing for their respective countries.
Hell yeah! I'm looking forward to the Baseball Classic, though. I am. I know it's in 3 days, so I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, I think it starts on the 5th. No, you're not. You were just talking about last night how you wasn't going to watch that.
No, I know. I started thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? Because
I'm not watching that lousy excuse for World Baseball Classic. I remember you saying that last night.
May have said a lot of things. I'm going to watch it, though. I'm going to watch it. You made a lot of good points about it. I'm going to watch it. I'm a smart guy. I can watch it. And so I got to support the team.
I heard Jay talk about rooting for Team Mexico.
Mexico. I like a good tostada just as much as the next guy.
Grand slam. Abreu for the Red Sox.
Oh, that dude. Hold on, let me slide over there real quick.
15-3 Red Sox over the Phillies in the bottom of the 7th.
Damn, hey. Now, see, when you get to this level, if I'm the umpire, I'm like, yo, look, it's 15-3. We calling this game. I'm gonna go get me a chili con queso somewhere or a chili corn dog, and because I'm hungry. We're calling this game. It's 15-3. Nobody's coming back in this game. Jeez, man.
Why you got to call a game for? You hate baseball? Damn.
No. I'm just saying at some level there's got to be a damn mercy rule when you're getting your butt beat that bad. It's like, hey, call mercy. Let's reset, get a new pitcher out, and let's try this game again. You can run a double hitter in one day if you wanted to.
See, these ones are in Florida, right?
Yeah, agree. I mean, that just tells you that Philly's minor league pitchers are not doing well.
Well, I haven't seen what they've done the rest of the spring training games either, because you can have a bad game.
You can. Oh yeah, no doubt about it, Frankie. I mean, once the regular season starts, nobody's going to care about the Red Sox. I agree. I mean, you can't lose that much of your lineup, and then all you got left is Devers, thinking that that's going to be enough. I mean, come on. But I think this is the year of the Yankee rebuild. So if I'm Devers, I'm probably looking to try to get out of Boston. I'm really surprised Devers hasn't requested a trade. Like, you got rid of Xander Bogaerts, JD Martin. All these guys are gone. Why am I still here? Because clearly you're going in a different direction. I wouldn't want to waste my prime years with a team that's going through rebuild or a different direction. You know what I mean? To me, that would just suck. That would suck. I don't care how much I'm getting paid. I'll get paid that same amount of money somewhere else where I can at least compete for a title. Man, it's true, man. Hey, it's like you got two pimps and you only got one girl to trick out. It's like, ugh.
Son of a bitch.
That's what and Pride's probably like, man, you can't talk about my Red Sox like that. Well, I'm going to play better. I don't know what to tell you. I'll tell you what, man, I'm really excited to see just how much havoc this Phoenix team, now that Durant's there, how much havoc they wreak in the playoffs, or if Denver can hold on to what they've built.
Yep. It's going to be interesting. I know they did look pretty good last night in his debut. He played 27 minutes, had 23 points. Booker had like 37 points.
Yeah.
And I mean, now they're keeping him on kind of a minutes restriction as they get him back into playing every day. So as his minutes go up, if he stays healthy, man, I know Frankie hates to hear this because Frankie's the biggest Kevin Durant fan you're going to meet. But if they stay healthy, they're going to be a tough out in the West, man.
Oh, no doubt about it, man. No doubt about it. It will definitely be a tough out in the West. I was seeing on there, it looks like Juju Smith-Schuster on TikTok was mocking A.J. Brown. And A.J. Brown basically said, don't get beat the F up. Oh, man. I love it. Don't get beat the F up now.
He said, don't ever say that, Chris. I'll smack your father.
Oh, Lord. Oh.
Hey, I was just saying the word I heard on the street was that Frankie was the biggest Kevin Durant fan. Isn't that what you heard, Jay?
I heard that he has all three of his jerseys. I heard he has Golden State Durant, Brooklyn Durant, and now he's got Phoenix Durant. I heard he has all three of those Durant. I asked him why he didn't have the Oklahoma City Thunder version of Durant, and he said he didn't count that Durant. He only counted the one after the Thunder. So otherwise, he would have had all four jerseys by Durant. So, but no, he loves Durant. That's his dude. I'll smack your father in the mouth. Hey, look, you just ask Frankie who his daddy is, and if he don't say the Astros, you tell him what Ortiz said. What David Ortiz say? Who's your daddy, Frankie? Who's your daddy? That's right. That's right. See, he said Carr might go to the NFC Team Easy Conference I think the NFC would be a good spot for him if he could find the right team that would take him. Oh, no. No.
Hey, especially that Kyrie one, right?
I do have all the Dallas Cowboy jerseys. So I've got a good Dallas Cowboy assortment, and I've got a good Rockets assortment, and I have a good Astros assortment. Those are the three basic teams. Frankie? Three basic teams. Three. And then if you're going to go hockey, then I have to go Dallas Stars because Houston doesn't have a hockey team. So then Dallas Stars would be my hockey team. And then for soccer, I just root for everything Mexico when it comes to soccer because it's right there next to the border. So it's close to soccer.
baseball jerseys, I got a lot of Reds, but I do have some other teams. I have a Bryce Harper Nationals jersey. I have trying to remember. I have some Indianapolis Indians minor league jerseys, stuff like that. But most of my stuff Cincinnati Reds. NBA only jersey I have is a Pacer jersey. I don't have none other ones. You know, NFL, pretty much just Colts. I don't think I have any other.
Hey, listen, that's true. But did you get the picture where my nuts were in your mouth that Caitlin sent? That was and I had just freshly shaved for that picture. Chris, you need to burn them Reds and pick a new team. He said it's time to pick a new team, sir.
A lot of you, I know Jay knows, but I don't know if AP knows. There's some of you that don't know. I also have Cincinnati Reds tattoos, so the Reds aren't going anywhere. I have a Pete Rose tattooed on my leg, and then also have the Johnny Red Leg big mascot tattooed on my leg as well. So. And then there's still some more to go into that leg piece. So the Reds aren't going anywhere. They just need to learn how to fucking win.
Oh man, ain't that the damn truth? I mean, but hey, that's okay. The Rockets need to learn how to win too, to be honest with you. So
we used to be one of the
maybe the Reds and the Rockets can get together and figure it out, huh? Jeez Louise, man.
Well, I know the referee. I know the Reds haven't been like a winning team here lately, but they used to be like one of the winningest teams in baseball. I mean, they were Big Red Machine days. I mean, we were the team to beat there for a long time. We haven't won a World Series since '90, so I understand we haven't been that for a while, but we'll get there one of these days. He said you can always get a cover-up tattoo, laughing out loud.
Man, that'd have to be a pretty good size cover-up tattoo, though. And I don't know what you get to cover that up. I mean, you have to get really, really creative. Really creative. But no, man, I tell you, man, basketball is going to be interesting this year. I think not so much on the East side, because I really do still believe it's going to be the Bucks that come out of the East. But that West side, man, geez Louise, man. Hell, the damn Lakers are only 4 games out of like the 4th place spot. They're only a half game out the play-in. I mean, that just tells you everything is so compressed. But a lot of people say Phoenix is a team to beat in the West, and I don't know how they're overlooking the Jazz so easily. No, is it bad? I didn't read it. Oh, dang it. Oh, well, he can say it there. Okay, that's fine. You know what, Frank? You know what, man? You know what? I am going to delete Frankie. Frank, you're gone. I'm going. You know what? I'm just going to delete the comment. I'm not going to block the user. I'm going to delete that because Frankie.
Don't be blocking nobody today.
Oh no! If you start talking about what's on my personal body, that gives me every right to block. I should block. But I'm not going to do that. That would be just silly. Just delete the comment. We're good.
Oh,
douchebag. I like to delete Frankie from life, but Frankie's my boy.
You'd be lonely. You'd be lonely if you deleted Frankie.
I would be, man. You know, hey, look. What do they say? You can choose your friends. You can't choose your family. And so, yeah, I'm stuck with Frankie. Frankie's stuck with me. That's how we roll. Okay, but it's okay to say it. Balls in my mouth. Well, hey, you know what? We're gonna go ahead and delete that one too. Oh no, we're not gonna show it. We're gonna delete it.
Oh God, here we go.
Delete. Freaking call me a bitch.
What? One of these days, the Reds will get back to winning. I think we need a new owner myself. But
Hey, listen, you need a new owner like the damn Cowboys need a new owner at this point. And I don't think the Cowboys are ever going to get a new owner because by the time Jerry dies, we get Steven. And God knows if Steven had, he'll probably get his
all right with I'd even be all right with the owner like Jerry Jones. At least he'll spend the damn money to try to win.
If he would just hire a general manager, we'd be all right.
That's what I want the Reds to do. Just make an effort to win. Spend a little bit of money. Make an effort.
You mean like instead of getting rid of the Luis Castillos of the world, why don't you try keeping them and building off of that? Yeah,
they got rid of our whole fucking team. It's like they do it like every other fucking year. Let's blow it. I gotta watch my language. Let's blow it. Let's blow the whole damn team up. Get me talking about the Reds and the F word coming out every other word. But I mean, just compete. Hey, they could be, dude. If the owner was like the Mets owner and was spent all that money, and we still lost, okay, I can take that better than I can take not trying to win. Okay, at least you tried. Did it work out? No, you made some stupid ass decisions, didn't work out. But at least you spent the money and you put an effort in to try to win. But now you're just trading everybody away. And when we get all these prospects, and everybody talks about all the great prospects the Reds have, well, prospects don't do no good if you don't let them turn into something. They start turning into a player, and you get rid of them. So,
yeah,
more about it anyway is just I don't feel like they're putting the effort in to compete.
Speaking of competing, let me ask you one question. Because I know people have been talking, even in here, they've been kind of talking about the Mavericks and Kyrie Irving and how they haven't won it. They've only won, I think, like one game together. Luka and Kyrie playing together. Do you at what point or how long do you think it'll be before Kyrie wants out of Dallas because they're not winning in Dallas like he wanted out of Brooklyn because they weren't winning in Brooklyn?
End of the season.
I was about to say, do you think at the end of this season they can? Well, that's the beautiful thing about it is, and it's not even just Kyrie Irving. Dallas can walk away from Kyrie, and maybe they should, quite honestly, because I don't think that experiment's working out too well.
But you gave the only thing about that is what you gave up for him to basically be a rental. That's so they want to re-sign him, but I the way Irving is, I can see him if this keeps going how it's going the rest of the season, I can see him being ready to move on. Because it hasn't worked. It hasn't looked good. They've won one game, and who was that win against? The San Antonio Spurs is the one team that they've beat since they've been on the court together. Since that trade has been made, I should say. Oh, you're
yeah, and that's the thing. I just think wherever Kyrie goes. Oh my God, what if he wound up with
your other team?
No,
is that your other team, the Mavericks?
What do you think, Chris?
I'm just going by the information that's been presented to me.
Sometimes in this life, you get people like that. You just get them like that. You can't avoid them. They troll you. They troll you. They troll you. They troll you on Facebook. They troll you on Twitter. They can't accept the fact that one human being can keep 3 teams their entire life and never cross over. And yet they blame me for that.
Yeah, I've had the same teams my whole life. So I ain't no different. Reds, Pacers.
No, you know what makes me mad? Like, cause when Frankie and them when they played with me like that, is they don't understand. I've been with these teams since I was 4 years old. I've been through all the trials and tribulations. And look, you get a certain level of you almost wear your losses like a badge of honor. Look, like I got scars being with this team. I got deep emotional scars. So I put my sweat equity into this team, and now you're trying to make fun of that like I like another team. That hurts me, Chris. That hurts because I put a lot of sweat equity into these losses.
AP says Kyrie to the Suns. I don't know. I think I think there might be a better chance of Kyrie to the Lakers than the Suns.
You said what?
I think there's a better chance of Kyrie ending up with the Lakers than the Suns.
Well, honestly, the only one he could really play with and win with, really win with and play with was LeBron James. Even though he hates, I don't think he really likes Braun, but honestly, that's where he played the best is with LeBron. So, I mean, it's not going to hurt. I mean, it's not going to hurt him. And the thing about it is, though, is can the Lakers afford him? I mean, I guess they're going to have to cut some people to get it. Well, then again, they don't, like you said, they don't have a hard cap in LA. Maybe they don't mind paying that extra money. This is because basketball doesn't have a cap like that, right? They don't pay luxury taxes or anything like that in basketball, correct?
Yeah, basketball you can pay luxury tax.
Do they have a luxury tax in basketball?
Pretty sure. The only one that really has a hard cap anymore is the NFL. NFL has that salary cap where you got to be under it. I think basically the other leagues you pay a luxury tax. If you're not under the cap by a certain date.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, man.
Yeah, I agree. He's not going there if LeBron's not there, but I think LeBron will be there at least one more year. I don't see LeBron moving anywhere until he sees where his son gets drafted.
God, what if he goes? What if it happens like that one mock draft where Bronny goes 10 to Orlando? Could you imagine Bron down in Orlando? And could you imagine Bron coming off the bench only for a few minutes a game?
Yeah, it's going to be.
Because that's what he'll be around 40, 41 years old. Talk about load management. That dude will be under some serious load management. Them old ass legs can't run at 41. I don't care if you do put $1 million into your body. Unless you're regenerating new bone growth. And last time I checked, that hasn't really been able to happen just yet. I think they could do some stuff with cartilage and things like that in terms of regeneration, but
never know. Hey, you never know. Hey, when you have the right amount of money, you can get about anything done. Look, Magic Johnson got healthier. Magic Johnson got healthier. If Magic Johnson gets your
age, damn it, you can regrow bone.
Yeah, I don't put nothing past anybody. That's what Magic Johnson get. Magic Johnson looked healthier after he had AIDS. So, I mean,
man, that's the healthiest looking AIDS patient I've ever seen in my life.
Frankie said LeBron said he would retire if Bronny gets drafted to Orlando.
Do you really believe that?
I don't know. Maybe. I think a lot of it depends. I know he says he wants to play with the son, which is great, but I think a lot of it's going to depend on one, what's LeBron's health going into after the next couple seasons, and then I think that's going to be one factor. Another factor will be probably where Bronny gets drafted at. If that team can even make it work to bring in LeBron, or if that team even wants to bring in LeBron, that's another thing people are talking about or are not talking about. He wants to play with the son, but whatever team drafts Bronny, they might not want to blow their team up or have to lose pieces or move pieces around to bring in a guy like LeBron. Now, if he wants to come in like on a cheap deal or something just because he wants to play with the son, I could see him maybe working something like that. But is a team going to want to give up a spot, especially if you're Orlando, you're going to do it because you haven't been relevant since when, like Shaq and Penny left. So I could understand that, but you know what I mean? If he gets drafted to a team that thinks they could be a contender, it might be a little harder for LeBron to be able to get over on that team, especially depending on how his body, what kind of shape his body in, because he's still in high school, so you still have like 2 more years before that can even happen.
Yeah, well, Bron will be eligible for the 2024 draft, I believe, correct?
Yeah. He'll play 1 year of college next year, and then he'll be available the year after.
Yeah, so I expect to see Bronny in the draft in 2024, which I think is where they had him going at number 10 to Orlando in that mock draft. That doesn't mean that's where he's going. You never know where he's actually going to go, but that's where they kind of had
And
him
he's
pegged
actually
out.
moved up. He's actually moved up because he wasn't. They didn't even have him in the top 10 as a getting picked in the top 10 going into this high school season. So he's had a better year this season, and that has actually moved up in the draft some, according to some of these scouts.
Oh, absolutely. And then Mickey Delaney says, Frank, how many times this baseball year? First of all, Mickey, Jesus Christ, are you so old? You can't even. You're writing like you've never been educated, brother. Frank, how many times? If you're gonna use that, at least use the pluralized times this baseball year that Houston. That's how you, Mickey. What the hell, man? Batters get got by the Mickey. What kind of language is that? Are you primary? Is that your primary language? Are you an American or are you like a foreign exchange student?
Shit.
Pitch clock already happened so far in spring training. Jesus, that was painful to read what he wrote. First off, if you're worried about a pitch clock in Houston batters, then we've already beaten you, Mickey. Number two, when you call us the Astros, number one, please make sure you put world champion Houston batters, okay? And number three, he goes, Frankie asks, what does Julio Rodriguez in English mean again? I think it means last place, non-World Series person. Mickey Delay, do better. Mickey had a stroke. I think he did have a stroke when he was writing that damn sentence. It took a hot minute to put that together. He said Mickey and Damian must be better. I think Mickey is Damian and Damian is Mickey. What was that one? Was it Ace Ventura? Victor is Icos. Icos is Victor. He said Julio. Man, we all know Julio means loser. We all know that. Come on. Damian, screw the cheat. Yeah, well, you know what? You can say it all you want. That's what losers say. You're a loser. No big deal. It's all good. Everybody could be world champions. We're world champion Astros. God, man. It's hard being an Astros fan. People don't understand how hard it is to be great and then have people chastise your greatness. God, but that'd be
a lie. Oh, man.
I think we got, what, 20 – is it 27 or 28 days to opening day, right? Because World Baseball Classic, you said, is in 3 days. And how long of a – is that a 2-week tournament or is that a week tournament?
I think it's a couple weeks.
Is it a couple weeks? Okay.
And then I think opening days, didn't I say March 30th?
Yeah, you did. You did.
Opening day of baseball, I think it's March 30th. Gonna watch the Reds get ready to start their World Series campaign.
He said, hey, Damian said, Jay Toy should. What the hell are you saying? Jay Toy should know about losing, being a Rockets fan.
I think it's supposed to be you.
Cowboys fan. Okay.
I think it's supposed to say J.U. should know. But
no, I don't know because T-O-Y and Y-O-U are two completely different words.
Yeah, I know that. No shit. But I'm just translating.
Well, there's no shit. Why does it say toy if it's no shit? Man, listen, I don't know where we get these people on the internet from, but geez Louise, man, you got 1.5 championships. You have to get at least 5 to 7 before you can consider them great. Frankie, What do you know about great, man? You ain't seen greatness, but maybe one time in your life when in that one championship that they got while you were born. Come on, man. And don't act like you're not cheating, Frankie. Don't act like the Yankees ain't cheating. Don't act like the Boston Red Sox ain't cheating. The Dodgers ain't cheating. Chicago Black Sox didn't cheat. Come on. Come on. Get off that. Get off that diatribe. Jesus, man. Why do you think I'm so young? You are young, Frankie. Even if you are 30, man, Jesus, you are young as crap, man. The warranty is still on your a-hole. So if something goes wrong, they can return you. Okay, be careful. Your parents may return you. The warranty is still there.
What is Frankie? 32?
I think Frankie's 32. If I'm not mistaken, I believe he's 32. Frankie, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe you're 32.
So he's about 10 years younger than me.
No, we got two. We got two rules. Actually, three, because you got to remember appearances. I'm not talking about wins. I'm more talking about we've been in the playoffs like what 6-7 times since I've been born in the World Series. Mickey and Damian, father and son. Ooh, damn.
He said he's
okay. I was off by 2 years. I was off by 2. He's 30. Okay. Either way, Jesus, man, I was 20 years old when you were born.
He's still 12 years younger than me.
He's a baby.
Well,
the sad thing is Frankie's like 30 years old, but he's got the body of like a 60-year-old. Have you ever seen Frankie? He's rather large. Frankie's rather large.
We're the old guy. We're the old guys of the group, aren't we?
We are the old guys of the group. That's all you need to know. I'll forever be 30. Hey, listen, I said that too when I was 30. I'll forever be 30. And then one day I woke up and I was 50. And I had a longer beard. It's crazy. I know you're not. I'm just busting your balls. I am large. Frankie, I got fat. I got real fat. I did. Otis Large. He said Otis Large. I don't know if I'm Otis Large. Dang. Dang, Frankie.
Oh,
got a little bit of stomach.
He said
little Jack Daniels never hurt nobody.
He said Mark Henry large.
You know what, though? Mark Henry was an athlete, so I'll take that.
Oh, yeah. He was a solid. He's a big dude, but he was solid as well.
No, I've seen Mark. I've seen Mark Henry. That's why I said, you know what? I'll take that. I take that as a compliment, to be honest with you. He said last time Frankie had a team that won the whole thing was in 2020 COVID bubble season. Meanwhile, my Avs are the defending Stanley Cup champions. Take that shit, Frankie. Take that shit. Roll it up in a weed bag and smoke it. Smoke it till you see no more.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Wait, he's the world's strongest man champion.
Yep, he was.
I'm telling you, man, hey, that dude was awesome. He said Jay looking like hey, shut your mouth. Hey, have you ever seen your Facebook picture? Look like Down syndrome, hooked up with Parkinson's, had a child, and that child was born with alopecia.
He said sexual white chocolate. Son of a bitch.
Hey.
Oh, fuck. This show is went.
Okay, I'm sorry. That was enough. I did my sexual white chocolate dance for a second. Who cares about hockey? That's the only sport you can be happy about. Congrats. How's the other teams looking with championships? Hey, Frankie, don't let them talk to you like that. How well are the Boston Bruins playing right now? Them Boston Bruins are looking pretty good. That's your team. That's Frankie's team is Boston Bruins. And they're looking pretty good right now. I ain't gonna lie. They got the best record in the damn league. And Dallas has, I think, the second best record in the league, if I'm not mistaken. And so, yeah, man, they're looking pretty good. They're looking pretty good, man. Frankie, your team is looking pretty good right now, man. Honestly. And then Tony Gonzalez said, I'm blind now. Why? Because of all this sexiness? Did this sexiness hit you the wrong way?
Oh, shit.
He said, no, Dallas is, even if we are 6, we're still in there. We're still doing, Dallas is still in contention. So I'll take it for what it is. We're still in contention, Chris. That's all I know. As long as we're in contention, we got a shot.
Let's jump into final thoughts.
Glenn said, white trash laughing my ass off. Wait a minute, Glenn.
No, I think that's supposed to be a chocolate bar. I think it's saying white chocolate.
Oh, is that a white chocolate bar?
I think that's a chocolate bar. That's what it looks like to me, anyway.
Well, we can't tell from your emoji. You might want to clarify. Are you saying I'm white trash or that I'm white chocolate? If I'm white chocolate, if I'm white trash. Frankie said Nathaniel McWhirter won a recent championship, and I'm sure we beat the Nuggets to get there. Try again, loser. Hey, listen, that dance was spectacular. It won my wife over. You said better than 26. That's a chocolate bar. Oh, okay. I thought that's what it was, but I don't see too well. Wait, that was a dance. I thought Hay was having a seizure. I was about to call 911.
And again, that's supposed to be Jay was having a seizure, not Hay. Just translating for everybody.
He said both. Mike Hughes has all these weird emojis. I don't know what the hell happened to them. It looks like a Batman emoji and some kind of I'm scared emoji. Nobody eat white chocolate. Wait a minute. No, it ain't. What's wrong with white chocolate? I had white chocolate yesterday. It was pretty good. Oh, because it's
Frankie said who's Hay?
So what you're trying to tell me is white chocolate has no official, because it's not dark and it's not white. What is or it's white, you got dark. I mean, what are we trying to say? What is that supposed to be like a racial thing?
Well, look, that's what
I don't know what y'all say.
Look, Mike, you said that was racially
motivated. Anthony, man, he said, "Who's Hay?" I know that's what I said too. Damn it! What a time to be alive. Frankie Cruz said, "Hey, what do you Frankie? He is something about spitting or something. Oh, it's spinning eyes emoji. Oh my God, where do you see Batman? It looked like a Batman." Asshole. Boy, I tell you what.
Oh, shit. White chocolate lives matter.
Hey, listen, it's true though. Mike makes a good point. Why should we laugh at white chocolate?
Hey.
Why don't we laugh at dark chocolate?
Hey, I like all kinds of chocolate.
I bet you do.
It could be dark chocolate. It could be white.
I like caramel. I'm more of a caramel guy, to be honest with you. I like caramel. Okay. But God, yeah, we definitely went left on this conversation. Yeah. Final thoughts are 28 days, man. Spring training is MLB starts in around 27, 28 days. That's when me and Frankie can get back to our shit talking like we did last year. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward. I got to get out of here. Yeah, no shit. You said last year you have to make it to the playoffs first to make it further than us. It was delicious. Damien says, serious question with everything that has happened with these college athletes getting into legal trouble. Is having the National League deal a good thing? Oh, NIL deal a good thing? Yeah, it's a good thing. Getting paid. When is getting paid a bad thing?
I think NIL is a good thing. I don't think you can fairly say NIL is the reason these college athletes are getting in trouble. They were doing stupid shit like this and getting in trouble before the NIL ever came about. So I'm not going to blame these players getting in trouble now on the NIL. Are we going to hear them a little bit more maybe about players getting in trouble because of the NIL? Yes, because you're gonna have some players that you might not get talked about much that might get talked about because they got a big NIL deal or something. But to me, it'd just be lazy to blame it just on the NIL because we saw players making stupid decisions, getting in trouble, and stuff like this before the NIL ever came about. So I don't think the NIL is a bad thing at all. I do think I think there needs to be some regulations put on it, and there needs to be some things worked out with it. But that's like anything when it first comes out, you see some you see like the bugs and shit get taken out of it and get to a better version of itself. So do I think there'll be some changes to NIL? Yes, but I do think NIL is a good thing. And I don't think the NIL is the reason why players have been getting into trouble that they've been getting in.
Yeah, I mean, look, NIL deal had nothing to do with people's bad decision making. People have been making bad decisions, like you said, Gonzo, since way back before Reggie Bush. I mean, all them days back. I mean, you can't blame NIL for what's going on. You just got to blame the individual's character or the individual's judgment, whether they get paid NIL money or not. You know what I'm saying? Is what it is.
Yep, I agree. My final thoughts. Check out the ASAP Network mobile app. You can find it on, if you're an Android user, go to the Google Play Store, type in ASAP Network. Boom, it'll come up. You have access to all of our shows. Also, you can find it on Roku and then on Amazon. So, like, if you have a Fire Stick, go to the apps there, ASAP Network. You can pull it right up on your Fire Stick as well. It will be available for Apple users here soon. That's something that's being worked on. So once it gets launched on Apple devices, we will let you guys know. But please go check it out. That's the new ASAP Network mobile app. It gives you access to all the different shows. From what I hear, the shows get put on there, if not the same day, the next day. So they're trying to get everything loaded up on there as quick as they can. But we'd appreciate go check it out. Tell a friend about it. Have them download the app. Like I said, it's free to download. Go to Google Play Store, boom, and you'll have a little icon on your phone. All you do is press it, and you're in. So it's I've been watching it. I enjoy it. So go check it out. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Gonzo Sports Room, at the All Sports All Plays Network, at Unscripted. We all appreciate that very much. And join us tonight. Well, actually, join us here in a few minutes for Easy Money, a sports betting show. And then join us tonight, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, as we have pro wrestler Nick Diamond going to be joining us for another interview. If you missed our interview yesterday with pro wrestler Justin Danger, go check it out. He's been in the business for 22 years. It was an real interesting conversation. Then also on Tuesday, we had Damian Michael Cole on, a guy that's been in the business for like 16, 17 years. That was an interesting conversation as well. So go check those out at the All Sports All Plays Network or at Gonzo Sports Room. Jay, you got anything else that maybe I left out? Like Jay said, unscripted tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you go check them guys out. I'll be on there. But
you can also check us. You can also check for sports updates on Twitter. Unscripted guys, all one word. And then, like Gonzo said, all sports, all plays. Pretty much we're all over the place. And then, yeah, like I said, Gonzo said tonight at 7 o'clock, we'll be doing Unscripted, 7 o'clock Eastern.
April 8th, we got a big pro wrestling show that will be live streaming. That Olympic gold medalist, WWE Hall of Famer Kurt Angle will be at. So make sure you join us for that on April 8th. Big pro wrestling show this Sunday, Summit Pro Wrestling Retribution. You have some wrestlers on this card that's been on AEW Dark and stuff before. Main events: Alice Crowley versus Jeremy Hadley. Going to be a great main event, and I think it's in a good housekeeping match. So they're going to use a lot of different weapons from around the house. Hadley's been saying Crowley needs to go back to the kitchen where she belongs. So that's going to be an interesting matchup on Sunday. So join us for that live at 4 p.m. Eastern. But no, we appreciate everybody joining us today. We'll be back tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, with another episode of the ASAP Afternoon Blitz. Hope everybody has a great Thursday, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.